Welcome back to another Pokemon Falling Friday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Friday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. So we do also cover the big Pokemon news, like cards are set to get revealed, and we do have to do the question of the day. So for today's question, which Pokemon do you think deserves to be a legendary? And we do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Metatcg. I did all the research and I found us the best possible website for you guys to sell your bulk or trade it for some super rare cards. All the cards do have to be near mint, and it is so easy to fill out a bulk submission. And they do have a new location, so if you guys are in Arlington, Texas, definitely go check out Metatcg. But to fill out a Pokemon bulk submission, it's so easy. You literally just write down exactly how many cards you have. They even have a video showing you how to package everything. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. And of course, if you're going to grade through PSA for your very first time, click my link in the description, use the code BEARD25, and you receive $25 off your very first submission, which is basically a free graded card. All right, hopping to Pokebeach here. So we got the Pokemon Center merchandise revealed for the 30th anniversary. Very cool. Super nice play mat. I love the nostalgic stuff. You know, it's basically Gen 1 Game Boy stuff, so I'm a massive fan of this. But all we really got so far was a play mat, double deck box, card sleeves, you know, a pin, a hat. Got a nice Pikachu plush. So nothing super crazy, but yeah, as you can see, the product line is referencing the opening battle from Pokemon Red and Blue between Gengar and Nidorino. It's funny that they even had those two fighting each other, which is just kind of crazy if you think about it. And remember, once all the actual 30th anniversary products get revealed, like when you're seeing them all over Facebook and Twitter and everything like that, and you can see the ETB, just know it's going to drop on the Pokemon Center the very next available business day, pretty much 99% of the time. All right, let's get into it. We got the Perfect Order Booster Bundle. This is on TCG Player. Remember, you can find this stuff much cheaper on eBay, but we're just checking these for fun. It was at $88. Now that's sold $72, $73, $74. Next, we have the Perfect Order Regular ETB. This was at $144. Now that's sold $109, $107, $112. And here is the Pokemon Center ETB for Perfect Order. It was all the way up at $390, which is insane. Now that's sold $199, $203, $204. And we also have the booster box. This was at $240. Now last sold $197, $198. And now we're going to jump to 130 point and see what some of the stuff is selling for on eBay. So we got a Pokemon Center ETB $144, $135. Booster box at $172. This one here says Pokemon Center ETB for $65. Another one at $85. Another one at $66. That seems crazy low. Let's see here. Booster box at $140 from the UK. Booster bundle at $38. Pokemon Center ETB $75. Booster bundle $45. Booster box $152. So some crazy low sales on here for sure. Very curious to see what these boxes are going to end up at. I can almost guarantee they're definitely going to be the cheapest booster boxes in Pokemon Center ETBs we've had in a while. Next, jump into Ascended Hero. So here's the tech sticker collection. This is the Charmander one. Was at 69, dropped down to 37, went back up to 50. Now last sold 32, 37, 33. And next we have the regular Ascended Heroes ETB. Remember, this is on TCG Player. You can still find stuff a lot cheaper on eBay. This was at 179, dropped down to 117, went back up to 162. Now last sold 133, 149, 130. And we have the Pokemon Center ETB. Now remember, this is a specialty set. It does not have booster boxes. And in my opinion, I think this set is even better than Destined Rivals. It doesn't have the nostalgia behind it, with it, you know, being a Team Rocket set. But still, there's a ton of Team Rocket cards even in this set. And it's got way more cards. So this is at 386, dropped down to 325. Just kind of keeps going up and down. Last sold 338, 340. I really hope this box gets to like 160 to 180, because I would love to pick up a few more. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to jump to 130 point and check out a couple sales from eBay. We got two Pokemon Center ETBs for $420. So that's $210 each, compared to they're selling for $340 on TCG Player. Remember, when stuff is up for pre-sale on TCG Player, only a handful of sellers can actually sell during that time. So the prices are crazy high. Regular ETB $73. We got a Pokemon Center ETB at $130. That's crazy low. Another regular one at $130, $80. And another Pokemon Center ETB at $280. All right, we're going to check out a couple other sealed products here. We got the Silver Tempest Pokemon Center ETB was at $280. Now that's sold $240, $255, $239. And we have the Team Rockets Moltres UPC was all the way up to $220. Dropping down a little bit. Now that's sold $208 and $209. Next, we got some cards. We got the Pikachu Sword and Shield Black Star promo. Love these cards. They really remind me of the Japanese exclusive Festa cards, which are some of the most expensive Pokemon cards we've ever gotten in Pokemon history. It's not often you get Pikachu with all 3 of the generation starters in one card. These cards are actually insane if you really think about it. This was all the way at $122, now last sold $74, $77, $100, $89, $79. And we also have the Scarlet and Violet Pikachu promo. This is from Paldea Evolved. This is the Pokemon Center promo. This was all the way at $148. Now last sold $110, $109, $117. Next, we have the Team Rocket's Moltres EX SIR. This is at $125. Now last sold $88, $99, $87, $101, $94. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X SIR. Got all the way up to $640. Now last sold $450, $591, $620, $680, $500, $610, $605. Another one at $550. We got one with a picture at $490. Tons of sales. I mean, this is literally just 2 days worth of sales. Another one at $500. Next, we have the Gold Mega Gardevoir EX. Still just keeps slowly falling a lot faster than the Lucario. Now last sold $209, $215, $235, $210. I have a feeling this is going to be a $180 card very soon. Next, we're checking out a ton of Ascended Heroes cards because a ton of them are coming down in price. So we have the Vikavolt here. This is at about $9. Now it's about a $3, $4 card. Next, we have the Galarian Obstagoon illustration rare. This is at $12. Now last sold $10, $8, $7, and $9. Next, we have the Numel. This was at $11, dropped down to $9, and now it's up like 25 cents. Now last sold $9.70, $10, and $8.50. Next, we have the Misdreavus here. This was at $18. Now last sold $10, $9, and $11. And there is a good handful of these cards that are coming back up in price, which I'll add to my next Market Monday. I added a few so you guys can see. Next, we have the Carbank. I love the colors on this card. This is at $21. Now last sold $9 and $10. Next, we have the Metacham. This is at $18. Now last sold $10, $11, and $10.50. But yeah, you got to remember, with this being such a big set and the pull rates being pretty tough, I can almost guarantee a ton of these illustration rares will go back up in price. Next, we have the Weavile. This is one of the ones that are starting to go up a little bit. This is at $15. Dropped down to $12. Now last sold $11, $13. We got another one at $13.50. So just bouncing back a little bit. Next, we have the Togekiss. This was at $20. Now last sold $14, $12, and $13. Next, we have the Team Rocket's Doug Trio. I have a feeling this is going to be one of the ones that's going to bounce back. This is at $24. Now last sold $15, $14. I really wish they would have just put all of these Team Rocket cards inside of Destined Rivals and made Destined Rivals even better. But, you know, they like to spread everything out. Next, we have the Score Bunny. This was at $19, dropped down to about $15. Now last sold $16, $17, $17.50. Bouncing back a little bit. This is another one. Honestly, I could see this being a $50 illustration rare, the Team Rocket's Mimikyu. This was at $36. Now last sold $31, $30. And we also have the Psyduck. It was at $95. Now last sold $74, $80. We got a crazy low one at $32, which I'm guessing is Japanese. Just doesn't say Japanese. And a bunch more at $80. Next, we have a ton of these special illustration rares. We have the Surfer from Ascended Heroes. This thing was at $106. Now last sold $26, $22, $30. I don't know who bought this at $100, but we have some sales. Next, we got the Iris's Fighting Spirit. This was at $125. Now last sold $53, $49, $55. Next, we have the Mega Scrafty. This was at $99. Now last sold $77, $90, $75, $68. And we have the Mega Embar. This was at $115. Now last sold $75, $72. One with the picture at $99. Another one at $80. Next, we have the Mega Frostless EX. I finally seen a ton of these cards in person. They do pop. The colors are very nice. This is at $150. Now last sold $80, $90, $83, and $75. Next, we have the Mega Howlucha EX. This was at $117. Now last sold $87, $93, $89, $85 with a picture. Next, we have the Mega Deontay. This was at $216. Now last sold $95, $90, $80. And the Stevens Metagross. This was at $125. Now last sold 99, 80, 84, 103. I feel like that's such a sick, clean card. Next, we have the Mega Meganium. This was at 150. Now last sold 107, 105, 110. One high one at 125. Next, we have the Marnie's Grimmsnarl. This is one of the cards I've seen also. This is at 167. Now last sold 110, 115, 101, and 98. But yeah, someone next to me pulled a God Pack, so I was able to see a bunch of these. Next, we have the Iono's Belly Bolt. This was at 164. Now last sold 100, 115, 132. Next, we have the Pheasantipity EX. This is at 160. Now last sold 138, 121, 119. But remember, don't buy any of these cards yet. They're still going to drop a ton more because most people have not gotten any products for this set yet. People are finally getting their regular ETBs in, and then we're going to be getting our Pokemon Center ETBs next week. Next, we have the Enzorock. This was at 163, went up to 170, and now last sold 126, 159, 145. So bounced back just a little bit and immediately dropped right back down. Next, we have the Mega for Alligator. This was at $236. Now last sold 160, 187, 186. One high one at 225 with a picture. Must be centered pretty well. Next, we have the Lily's Clefairy. This is at 273. Now last sold 235, 230, 258, 225. And here's the Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. This is at 350. Now last sold 340, 344, 335. So holding its value very strong. Not a ton of sales though. Not a ton of listings of this card yet. And here is the Pikachu. Someone gave me that nickname down below because I kept just calling it the Pink Pikachu. So we might as well call it the Pikachu. This was at $400. Now last sold 325, 326, 360, 350. And my favorite special illustration in the set. It's so clean. The Pikachu EX. This is at 500. Went up to 523. Now that's sold $499, $496. Again, not a ton of sales at all. But this is what everybody uses to price their cards out at. We will be checking some eBay sales also. Next, we have the Mega Dragonite. Went from $450 and now last sold $595, $660, $500, $600. So this is like the one card that truly went up in price. Next, we have the Mega Gengar. This was at $960. Now last sold $1,150. Others we got $948, $931, $940, $825. And we have the Gold Mega Dragonite EX. This is at $549. Now last sold $368, $449, and $358. And the Gold Mega Charizard Y. This was at $626, went all the way up to $673. Now last sold $648, $640, $625, and $690. Now let's see what they're actually selling for on eBay. We got the Mega Deontay here, $75. Best offer accepted, $54. That is crazy because it's selling for $95 on TCG Player. Numel for $20. Enzorock, $165. That's about spot on. Scrafty, $90. Spot on. Mega Frostless, $88. Not too bad. Meganium, $91. Clefairy, $220. Iris's Fighting Spirit, $59. We got the Lily's Clefairy, $269. We got a Pikachu here at $500. Gengar at $1,200. Marnie's Grimmsnarl, $95. We got the Pikachu in the Forest, listed at $473. Best offer accepted, $336. We got the Pikachu, $449. Lily's Clefairy, $220. Pheasantipity, $130. We got the Mewtwo at $300. Pikachu at $375. Meganium at $110. For Alligator at $170. Metagross at $90, $88. The Emboar selling for $55 on auction. Another for Alligator at $150, and the Iris's Fighting Spirit at $49. So definitely much cheaper on eBay still than it is on TCG Player, but it is getting close for sure. All right, next, we have a couple PSA 10 sales for Ascended Heroes already. So we have the Mega Dragonite PSA 10 sold for $3,000. We also have the Pikachu in the Forest that sold for $2,750, and the Gengar. We got a sale at $47.85 and $44.85. And that's pretty much all we got for PSA 10 so far. You got to think when people do that express grading, they're only going to send in like the best of the best cards to actually make it worth it. Next, there is a ton of the English Mega Zygarde from Perfect Order on eBay right now. I guess people are pulling these in their Ascended Heroes packs, I think. It's crazy, but there's, a good amount. We literally got 8 of them on eBay right here. There is no sales because, of course, people aren't going to buy this card yet. I do think if it was a more popular Pokemon, these cards would be selling a lot faster because, it's pretty rare we get a card this early before the set even is remotely close to coming out. But the lowest listed on here looks like is about $899. There is one on auction at 102 with 8 bids. So I'll be watching that. Ends in 6 days, see what it sells for. But yeah, that is actually crazy if you really, really think about it. And to end it off, we're going to be checking out the new Nihil Zero set. This is going to be our perfect order set, of course. So the Rosa's Encouragement is their most expensive card at $180. That is not going to be our most expensive card probably, but on the Japanese side, the trainers are always worth a ton. But here is the Meowth. This will probably be our most expensive card. Besides maybe the gold card, I guess. Because the gold card's going to be so tough to grade. This is at 111. Now last sold 85, 87, 89. And I did see the Meowth in person the other day. Looks very nice. Definitely nicer than just a regular full art, which I keep hearing people say. And we got the Mega Starmie here, market price 47, the actual Zygarde SIR 44, Mega Clefable 38. And honestly, that is about it for this set. The Clefairy illustration rare is at $10. It's such a small set. I do wish they would have sprinkled a few more in there. And here's the actual gold card for the set. It was on TCG Player, but we got a sale at 114. Before that, 315, which is wild. And before that, 167 with 2 bids. So this card does not sell very often at all. But yeah, it seriously blows my mind how many of these Zygardes are on eBay. So it wasn't just like a one-time thing. Like, that's actually crazy. And I'm very curious to see what it's actually going to sell for. But yeah, I'll be watching and I will let you guys know when it actually sells. But alright, that was today's Pokemon Fight Friday. If you guys like this content and you guys want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership. You guys know what to do. You guys are the best. But alright, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to watch my last Pokemon Throwback Thursday, where we look at the best Squirtle cards in Pokemon history, and we also do a whole market review on Unbroken Bonds, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.